Hey guys, what is going on today? Joe here, back again for episode number 22 of our Montreal Canadiens franchise mode here in NHL 19. And yes, this is our first NHL 19 franchise mode recording of the new year here in 2019, even though we're in the year 2022 in our franchise mode. But we are beginning our year number 5 simulation here with our Habs. And we are going to continue along with this, with our year number 5 simulation as we just got it started in the last video. So if you guys missed the last video, it was a doozy. It was over an hour long, so I hope you guys did enjoy that. If you did miss it, make sure to go check that link out in the description down below. Make sure to grab a snack and some beverages along with it. If you missed it, it's definitely, like I said, a doozy. So we did some simulating, as you guys can see. 5-5-1 we started off our season out. Currently third place in the Atlantic Division, tied with a bunch of teams. Obviously it's still early on in the year. Obviously a lot of teams are going to be flip-flopping in the divisions to start, but yeah, we definitely still need to do a little bit more simulating to see what kind of team we are going to be looking like here in year number 5. But after looking at the stats for the first month in, our power play was struggling a little bit. Our penalty kill was actually doing a really good job, so I definitely made some changes there. I did all of my scouting adjustments, so I did the scouting. I updated all that stuff. I actually went out and signed 3 additional scouts, so we should get those pop-ups as I start to simulate throughout the calendar here, and I'll actually edit those while we are doing our simulating. And I actually did update my trading block as well. Top pairs, we didn't change at all. We still left the top 6 the way it is. Our new third line now is going to be Lafreniere, Paling, and now Dylan Cousins is going to move up to the third line. Senyshyn's going to move down to the 4th with Poulin and Hudon. And then on the power play lineup now, we're going to have Tyson Jost, Kotkaniemi, and Drouin. So Drouin goes from the left wing over to the right wing. Kotkaniemi still stays in the middle, and Tyson Jost goes from the second line center to the first line left wing. Lafreniere will go from right wing to left wing. Domi goes from left wing to center, and Scherbak goes from first line right wing to second line left wing, or second line right wing. So we'll see if any of those changes. And 4-man power play, I really didn't change anything up on the 4-man power play at all. All right, so that's all the changes that we did. Let's start simulating here and see if our team can get on the right track here after these, you know, the back and forth win losses here for the first month of the season. Let's see if our team can get back on track here through the month of November and December. So let's get simming. Like I said, I'm probably going to get interrupted with the scouts being signed. Yeah, obviously. So I went out and signed, I think, in NHL, 2 pro scouts and an amateur scout. So 1 for the extra liga, and then 2 pro scouts, 1 for a NHL division and 1 for an AHL division. So once all 3 actually get back to me, maybe they actually all will get back to me. Cool, I actually get to edit lines manually. So Alexander Romanov is actually back on our lineup, which is great. So unfortunately, Josh Brook got put into the lineup, but he's actually going to get taken right back out of the lineup because Romanov is going to get right back into there, which is unfortunate for him. Wait till that last scout actually gets signed for us. There we go, 2-0 win over the Rangers. Hopefully I get that last third scout signed. And there he is. Cool. So let me actually stop simming right now so I can actually get those 3 guys assigned and scouting to where I need them to be. Good. All right, so let's get through this month here. Let's get through November and December, starting off with a win against the Rangers, which was nice, which is a good 2-0 shutout. And let's keep it going. Back-to-back shutouts. All right, I like it. 2-0 and 3-0, and 3 straight wins to start the month of November. That is what I like to see. Pulling some wins together with some teams. Roman Josi, sore shoulder. He's not going to be back till my birthday on November 22nd. So, ooh, that's okay. So the replacement player is going to be, that's Cal Fleury, right? Right, Cal Fleury is the replacement player. I'm just gonna put him in there. He's only gonna miss like 2 weeks. 3-1 loss to Edmonton. Kind of hurts. So Roman Josi's gonna miss a little bit. There's another shutout there, 2-0. 1-0 loss to Anaheim. Missing Roman Josi there is gonna hurt for a little bit. 3 games here. Blake Kovalchuk, mild concussion, another November 22nd injury. 3-1 loss to St. Louis. Zach Senyshyn for a 3rd and a 6th. No thanks, Colorado. 9-8-1. And Roman Josi is available to play in the team's next game. All right, let's get him back into this lineup ASAP. General, yep, Cal Fleury was put into the lineup there. Yeah, let's get him back in there as soon as possible. I'll risk the injury on him, obviously. There we go, back-to-back wins. Get Roman Josi back into the lineup, obviously, is huge for our team, so I'll just put Kovalchuk in there. Yeah, so Roman Josi goes back in there, gets 2 wins there against Winnipeg and the LA Kings, 2-1 and 1-0. So that's good that we got 2 wins there. Another 2-1 win over the Lightning. Yeah, goal scoring, we're not letting up many goals this month, which is, you know, which is good. We unfortunately let up 4 there to the Devils, but another 2-1 win. When we're winning games this month, we're not letting up many goals, which is very, very good. I like to see that. Shootout win over the Florida Panthers. So that month of November was pretty good. Pretty good for us. We had some very, very clutch, close wins in a couple of those games, which is good. 2-1 loss there to the Caps, not that great. We're kind of keeping it close with our wins and our losses. 14, 10, and 2. Would like to get some points for our losses. Senyshyn again for our 3rd and a 6th. Pretty much the exact same deal. No thanks. Obviously, we're not going to get much for Zach Senyshyn, but like to get a little bit better deals than that. 6-4 win over Detroit. 15, 11, and 2. All right, come on. Florida's a good team. 18. Dylan Cousins injured ribs. Estimated return is December 18th. Let's just edit the lines manually because that way we can just move. Well, we can just replace the player because Cousins really isn't playing anywhere else. We can either put in Jesse Alonen or we could put in... I'm actually going to put in Jesse Alonen on that lineup. So I'm just going to substitute in all lines because I don't think Dylan Cousins is playing anywhere else on the lineup. Yeah, he's only playing on 5-on-5. So I'm actually just going to put Jesse Alonen in there. And I'm going to put Zach Senyshyn back up onto the 3rd line. I'll move Alonen down to the 4th line. So not a huge substitution there. So I'll move Senyshyn back up to the 3rd. 6-1 win over the Panthers. 5-3 loss to Buffalo. So not a huge loss there. So that way we move Senyshyn back up to the 3rd again. Dylan Cousins is available to play into the team's next game, which is good. So Alonen fills in for a couple games right there, which is not bad. So Alonen, nice little fill in right there. But we can put Cousins right back in. Nice little fill in for a game for him right there, and we get right back into the swing of things. Devils are not a good team. We should hopefully get a win there. We do. 2-1 again. Ottawa and Boston. 7-4 loss to the Sens, not great. 2-1 loss to the Bruins, not great. 2 divisional teams that we definitely should have got wins against. 3rd and a 4th for Senyshyn, a 4th and the 5th. So pretty much you swap 4th. So Senyshyn, a 5th, pretty much for a 3rd round pick. And no thanks, New York. It's not a bad deal, to be honest. Vegas, we got a 5-2 win over them. Colorado is not a good team, 13, 22, and 1. Blake Kovalchuk again injured with a concussion. We'll just replace the player. Kovalchuk's being injured a lot again. 2 more back-to-back losses. December's not a good month for us. A 2nd Romanov extension for 2 seconds from Buffalo. 1 this year, 1 next year. No thanks. Decline the trade. Alright, come on, Montreal. Let's get 2 wins here to... Jesus, man. Not a good month of December. November was a decent month for us. December, not a good month here. Did we get that win against Ottawa at least? We did get that win against Ottawa at least. It was 4-2. Alright, 20-17 and 2. Alright, once again, still hovering around that 500 mark. Not a great month of December. A lot of big losses in there where we got like... I don't know. You got like 2 losses and then you would get a win pretty much. Which is not really great. Yeah, it was pretty much that. You got like 2 wins there. Negated by 2 losses. You got a win, then 2 more losses, and then another... Well, actually, that was 3 losses in a row. Then you broke that 3-game losing streak with a win. So, hopefully back on the right track here. Some teams with some questionable records down the road here. Looks like, yeah, a couple tough opponents. Ottawa, Florida have some decent records, but these Nashville, Chicago, and Islanders just don't have great records. Boston does. Yeah, some tough teams down in this month for sure. January, there's some tough teams with some decent records for sure. But you know, we're kind of staying in near that 500 mark. Wow, we are not a great team in our division. It's a close-knit division, that's for sure. But yeah, we're not looking great. Only 42 points. Our division is very, very tight. 44 points is held by the wild card. Yeah, the East is very, very tight, it looks like. All the teams in the East are very, very close in point totals. Yeah, our team's not doing great, it seems. 2017-2, like I said. Yeah, it's not looking good for the Habs so far. Yeah, let's take a look at our stats compared to the entire league. So, what overall team are we? We're 19th, so almost near the middle. So, not great. Goals for per game, 2.44. Jeez, we're not scoring as many goals as we should be. Goals against? Alright, so the good thing is we're not scoring many goals, but we're not giving up as many goals. We're the 5th best team in the league for goals against, but we're one of the worst teams for goals for. We're 4th worst for goals for, but 5th best for goals against. So we're pretty much, our goals for and our goals against are exactly the same, which is not good. So you want to have more goals for than you want to have goals against, and ours are exactly the same, which is, you know, not really great, not really good. You kind of expect to have a 500 record when you have that kind of, you know, when you have those kind of stats. Obviously, showing by the white bar, our power play is at 17.3%, which is better, and our penalty kill is at 87.6%, which actually looks to be pretty good. Power play, like I said, 17.3. It's not the greatest as compared to the rest of the league. Power play looks to be really, really high in comparison to a lot of other teams. Yeah, a lot of teams above like 20% this year, which looks to be really good. 17.3 power play percentage is better than what it was at the beginning of the year, so I'm not really sure how to get our power play better. How many times have we been on the power play? We do have a lot of power plays, so it kind of makes sense that our power play is like 17%, you know. So hopefully that can get better. Our penalty kill, we have the best penalty kill in the entire NHL though, which is really, really nice to see. And we do take a decent amount of penalties as well, but we do have the best penalty kill in the entire NHL right now. So that's good to see. Our home record is terrible. We're pretty trash in the Bell Center this year, 8-9-1. We're good on the road. Last 10 we're 4-6. So we need to turn something around here. We're actually absolutely trash at home this year, which is really, really interesting. I've never seen our home record that bad, but we have to turn that around somehow. All right, let's take a look at forward. So Jesperi Kotkaniemi leading the team with 27 points, only 5 goals, 22 assists, 27 points. Jonathan Drouin with 26 points. Nikia Scherbak with 22. Tyson Jost with 21, 13 goals. Not getting as many goals as he did this year than he did last year, which is kind of worrisome for sure. This time last year, he definitely would have gotten around, what, 40 goals last year. He would have had roughly around probably like 20, 21. I think he would have had maybe around like half as many goals. Half as many goals as he would have had games played, so he probably would have had around 20 goals this year. So he's definitely not on the goal-scoring pace as he was last year, which is kind of worrisome. But with a lot of minus players on this team also is kind of worrying as well. Lafreniere does have 20 points, 10 goals, so he's getting a lot more points this year than he did last year, which is nice to see. So giving him that power play time seems to giving him a lot more points, which is nice. Gallagher with 18, Max Domi with 18, Paling with 14 points, Dylan Cousins with 12, Hudon with 9, Poulin with 9, Sanchez with 8, Yolanen has nothing. Defenders, Josh Morrissey with 18 points, Torrey Krug with 17, Romagnosi with 10, Victor Mete with 8, Belfoy with 4, Bouchard with 3, Cale Fleury with nothing. Goaltenders, Carter Hart 18, 10, and 2. Grubauer is kind of an issue, which is weird though. He's 3 and 8, but his save percentage and goals against average is really good. It just he's not getting goal support. That's the issue. He's playing very, very well in net. He's not getting goal support from the team. Carter Hart is playing very, very well as well. My goaltender stats are really, really good. Save percentage, .925, .926. Goals against average, 2.23, 2.18. Those goaltender stats are really, really good and should be more than enough to have you win games. That's just not good enough for my offense. My offense should be getting me some goals. So I have to change up my 5-on-5 lines a bit then. So this team is way too minus, it seems. So I need to switch up the lines a bit then. Need to switch up the lines a bit because they're way too in the negative. So let's do this. I still like Domi and Jost together because of the chemistry that they had this year. Let's move Scherbak back down to the second because that's where he should play. Let's move Gallagher back up to the first. Let's kind of rekindle that that chemistry that they had. I think I might want to move Drouin to the middle. As weird as that sounds, to move Kakaniemi to the freaking wing. Let's move Kakaniemi to the wing and let's put Drouin at center. Why not? Even though Kakaniemi's good at center playmaker, kind of makes sense. Let's move Kakaniemi to the wing. Let's move him to the wing and let's put Drouin at center. Why not? Let's leave Domi at wing. Let's move Jost to center. Let's keep Jost to center, obviously, because he has the better face-offs. Let's do that. Scherbak back down to the second pair. Cousins only has 12 points, so I don't think that's working out too well. Let's move Senyshyn back up to the third. So let's move Dylan Cousins back down to the fourth line. St. Poulin, I think, is fine right there. Lafreniere, I think, is good. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that 5v5. Let's do that. Power play, like I said, did get better. It went up in percentage from the beginning of the season, so I think that's fine. Lafreniere was getting a lot more power play points, so I think we're good there. Josh Morrissey has been having a heck of a year power play line, point-wise for power play, so I think I'm gonna move him up there. Let's do that. Let's move him up to the top line for power play as well. Let's do that. No, actually, I'm gonna move Lafreniere up there. Let's do that. Why not? Gotta try some crazy shit here at the back half of the season. It could be a wash of a season, I don't know, but it just seems like our forwards are just not getting it done. Our goaltenders seem to be getting it done. Our defense seems to be getting it done. Our penalty kills seems to be getting it done. So I'm not really sure what the heck is going on with our team. Our forwards just do not seem to be getting it done defensively. They seem to be giving up way too many. They're not scoring as much as they should. So let's do month by month. We'll have to take it to, because the trade deadline's a little bit earlier this year. Looks to be a leap year here in February. So let's take it this month of January. Let's take it this month. We'll see how they do. They need to have a very good month of January for us to definitely get back into the swing of things here. So we start off with a 2-0 win over Nashville. We have some very, very competitive teams here this month, so we need to really string together some wins this month if we really, really need to start getting back into this division. So Senyshyn for 2 force, I'm gonna say no. So we did get a win there against Ottawa, which is good. We need to get some wins against divisional teams and beat teams that we're supposed to beat. So there we go. Back-to-back shutout wins. 3 wins this month so far, and they've all been shutout wins. We lose that game against the Islanders, which is a team we should have beat easily, and we lose against Florida again, another divisional opponent. Boston, we lose again against them, another divisional opponent. Man, oh man, we cannot beat divisional opponents. That's, oh my god, it's frustrating. Overtime win against Columbus. Dallas, Connor Brickley is being placed on waivers. I mean, I don't really think he's that great. 77 overall, 4th line forward. I mean, what is he, age 30? No, I'm gonna decline. I don't really need him. Dallas is a good team. Can we get a win against them? 6-2 loss. Jesus, man. What is wrong with our team? So many regulation losses without points. That's a bad month, January. Very, very bad month of January. 24, 22, and 3. Those losses against Florida and Boston really, really killed us there. If we would have beaten Florida and Boston, I would have been able to just like overlooked the those like couple of losses there. But just those two losses to Florida and Boston really kind of hurt our schedule there, and that loss to Minnesota too. Just, yeah, I have no idea. This might be a wash of a year, to be honest. I'm gonna take it to the halfway point of February too, but I really don't know what else I could do with this team, man. I really don't know what else I could do with this team. Yeah, we're at 500. We're at 500. If we lose like these, we need to like sweep this entire, we need to sweep every game this week. We need to sweep every game this week for us to have a chance at like making the playoffs right now. Because right now, it looks to be very, very bad. It looks to be very, very, very bad for this Montreal Canadiens team. And we actually could become sellers at this trade deadline if we're not a very good team. Alright, well, there's 2 wins right there. Sammy Poulin, injured leg. I'm just going to edit lines manually. Poulin, is he on the penalty kill? I don't think he is. No, he's not. Alright, so Poulin, I'm just going to replace you with Yolanin. Up to a 79 overall, good. Should be playing on the third line, checking a line forward now, which is interesting. Lafreniere actually went up in overall. Sherback, yeah, he went up in overall. So everybody actually got their overall boosts now, which is interesting. Or some players got overall boosts. And there's that loss again. Jesus, man. Yossi gets injured. A 6 for a third. If we lose that game to Arizona, it's a 5-0 win. A first for Jankowski. 4th and a 6th. Nope. Okay, but win against the Blues. They need to beat Nashville. We need to beat Nashville again. 3-2 loss now. I think it's too far gone. They need to win these 2 games. They need to beat Vegas and they need to beat Arizona. 4-1 loss, 4-2 loss. Yeah, I think it's too far gone, man. It's way too far gone. 28-3. I'm pretty much just gonna take it to like the trade deadline, I think, and then we'll just have to decide what to do with this team, man. You guys will have to help me decide because I just don't know what happened this year. To be perfectly honest, wow. A second and Zach Senyshyn for how old Alexander Ovechkin? Could that be what we need? How old is he, to be perfectly honest? He's 37. He's probably not even that great. 38 points in 58 games. Like, $8 million cap hit. I could take it. 1 more year. A second in 2024. Is that next year's draft? What are they giving me? They're giving me a second for this year. And, so they want a second for next year. They're giving me a second for this year. So we're pretty much swapping second-round picks, and they're giving me Zach Senyshyn, pretty much a cap dump for Ovi. That's pretty funny. What is Ovi's overall? I'm almost like tempted to do this because I have cap room. Because Senyshyn's not helping me out at any point this year, to be honest. Should I just do this just for the freaking memes at this point because I have pretty much no other like choice? You know what, Senyshyn, you have 13 points in 60 games this year. You're not, you know what, Washington? You're giving me a second this year. We're pretty much swapping seconds. You're giving me a second this year for a second next year because I don't have a second. And I have 2 thirds for next year, which I can move up to get the second. And I have plenty of thirds that I can move for a second next year if I wanted to do that. You know what? What do I have to lose this year, to be honest? Propose the trade. There you go, Washington. Go to roster moves. Go to edit lines. Go to edit lines. Welcome Alexander Ovechkin to the squad. Oh man, that's pretty funny. Well, Ovi's here now. Welcome Alexander Ovechkin, a 37-year-old Alexander Ovechkin to the team who has 1 year left at $8 million. He's going to go to the third line. I don't know what his overall is, to be honest, so we'll figure that out in due time. Shootout win over Calgary. If we get 3 wins here, you know, it could be the grace of God that picking up Alexander Ovechkin at this point might just be the Russian gods shining a light over our heads here to help us get back on track. Charles Hudon a 5th and a 7th for a 4th. No thanks, Jersey. If we get a win over Dallas, I swear. There's a 3-2 loss. Yeah, I don't think so. So maybe those couple wins there helped us reveal what Alexander Ovechkin's overall is. I don't know. At least Tyson Jost got back up on the goal scoring swing of things. Do we know what Ovi's overall is? No, we still don't know what Ovi's overall is. That's crazy that they gave us Alexander Ovechkin. That's pretty damn hilarious, to be honest. His shooting category still must be pretty damn good, to be honest. I mean, 19 goals in 19, is 39 points in 60 games. It's way more than what, you know, like 37. He still has to have like a hell of a good shot, I would think. He probably is still a decent third liner. I would think if I put him on the power play, it would have to be pretty decent, no? Yeah, because we're missing Roman Josi right now. Kyle Fleury should be playing on this team right now. So yeah, I don't know what went wrong with this team, man. It's so weird that what went wrong with the team. I really do not know. I really am just speechless as to what went wrong with the team. I mean, honestly, we're still only 7 points out of a wild card spot. Technically, really only 6 points out of a wild card spot. Because it looks like every team in the East is like super competitive and super like close in record. Like every team in the East, other than like the Devils, every team in the East other than the Devils looks to be pretty much 500. Yeah, it looks like every team in the West. Look at that, like the Blackhawks, the Wild, the Predators, and the Avs. And then the Kings, the Oilers, the Flames, and the Flames. Like, all those teams are under 500. Like, the Blackhawks are under 500, and I think they're not in a wild card spot, no. But, like, all the bad teams are in the Western Conference this year, and, like, all the good teams are in the East, which is super unfortunate. I don't know why the Caps made that trade, though. I guess they wanted to, like, dump Cap for whatever reason, which kind of makes sense, but I'm not really sure why that made sense. But I guess they wanted to do that for whatever reason. But I mean, I'll take an aging Alexander Ovechkin in hopes to save my season for whatever, you know, whatever that makes sense. I wonder what Ovi's trade value is that they made that trade. I wonder if actually any team is interested in Alexander Ovechkin at this point. What's his trade value at, to be perfectly honest? Let's see. Yeah, it's like little to nothing. So I'm assuming his trade value is not that great. The second round pick probably has more trade value than Ovi does. So I don't know. You know, Senyshyn wasn't going to be getting me any value at all, and he just was not pulling his weight. So why not just make the trade for Alexander Ovechkin? You know what? Who cares at this point? Our team is not great. Do we make a go for the playoffs? I mean, I really don't even know. Do I trade anybody off my team? I don't even think I like. Who do I like? I don't even think there's anybody I need to trade. My team is like way too young to even trade anybody. Like, I can't even trade Brendan Gallagher, to be honest. Like, who's going to take a 5-year, $5 million contract hit? Like, there's nobody who I can really trade. Everybody has long contracts. Like, I could trade Drouin. Like, Drouin would get me like a shit ton. Like an 88 overall, 5.5 for 5 years. But like, who am I going to get back for him? I kind of need him on this team. He gets me, he's my first line center. I'm not going to get another first line center. Like, Gallagher would be kind of like the only realistic player that I could trade, but like his cap hit's way too big. Can't trade Sherback. I just signed him long term. Like, Jost, you know, I got Jost for a reason, and he still has a really good contract, and he still is my goal scorer. Domi, yeah, Domi's, you know, questionable maybe trade. 29 points only this year. He has not had a good year at all. Lafreniere obviously isn't untouchable. He's had, you know, he's actually had a decent year this year. It's actually his best year so far, and it's only going to get better. So he's obviously an untouchable right now. He's actually a second line forward, so he's actually probably going to get moved up into the lineup. I'm going to actually move Domi probably down the lineup. So, yeah, probably Domi can get moved more than likely. So I would probably put Max Domi onto the trading block more than likely. He is 27, and Lafreniere is now a second line forward on this team. And judging by his, like, you know, judging by his playmaking skills, yeah, it's gonna get better than Domi's for sure. His shot is better than Domi's. Yeah, his shot is better than Domi's by far. He has a much harder shot, and his census category will get around to it. I think he's a much faster skater. He's a much better skater than Domi for sure. Defensively, I don't think he's better. He's not better defensively than him, which is unfortunate, but like his playmaking skill is almost as good as him. Is not as good as him, but like Domi probably could get me a good bit for, you know, I could get a little bit for Max Domi. So there's an option to trade right there, because I'm probably going to move Max Domi down to the third line regardless, because Lafreniere should be playing second line now on this team. So I'm probably going to do that. I might actually move Kakaniemi back to the center now and move Jerwin back to the left wing, because that experiment didn't seem to work out all too much for our team. So I'll probably move him back. Other than that, everything else seems to be not working all too fantastic for our team. I mean, we have Ovi now, which is always fun to see. But yeah, other than that, nobody else really moves. Like I said, Domi's the one person that goes. Poulin, Hudon. I mean, could always use a fourth line center, I guess, but none of these guys get moved. Ovi, if anybody wants to take him, goes. We're without, obviously, we're without Riosi due to injury, which kind of sucks. Bouchard actually should be a top 4 defenseman now, which is interesting. So he should be playing in a top 4 role. Could I move a defenseman? I mean, what's Morrissey's contract at? Can't move that. Brugge, maybe I can move. Until Yossi comes back, which I don't know when that is. Bouchard should be playing in the top 4 role. I mean, Krug will be gone after next year, and then until then, Bouchard probably can go up to the top 4 role. But for right now, I guess playing in the top 6 is fine for him for right now. Belfoy's still fine playing right there. He's up to an 83, which is good. Continue to let him grow, and then he'll get moved down there and there. That tastes fine. But yeah, the defenseman can't get moved. Like Josh Morrissey's here to stay for the foreseeable future with that cap hit. Krug's only going to be here for 1 more year after this year, and like I said, I still need him around because I need that offensive defenseman. And then my goaltenders, Carter Hart's already up to an 85 overall, so he's still continuing to get better. Like that save percentage this year, oh god, that makes me sick looking at my goaltender stats. Well, Grubauer is shitting the bed because I think his what's his win-loss ratio? Oh, that's just sickening. 4-10 with a save percentage of 0.919. Goals against average of 2.51. Okay, so that's a little bit sickening. So he's not been great, but like Carter Hart has played very, very well this year. He's 27-20, a save percentage of 0.929, and a goals against average of 2.13. So Hart has played phenomenal for me this year, and the team has just not played well in front of him. So yeah. That's what the team looks like. If I had to choose, probably Domi, trade deadline, maybe. That would be the only player who I would say maybe move. For what? I don't know. You guys can let me know. How's the AHL team doing? They're not doing so hot either, but that was expected because we're playing a lot of players that are lower overall, which was expected. So they can be perfectly fine. Let me just look at their overalls really, really quickly. Just to see, Elliot Holt's up to a 78 overall. He should be a 4th line forward now too. So we can move out players if we need to. Get some of these guys playing on the NHL team if they, you know, if we can. Demo, depth forward, like I said. Elliot Holt has had a very, very good year. It seems that fifth round pick seems to be really, really paying off dividends for us. Lars Patterson also is supposed to be playing in a top 6 defensive role for me. Cederholm is actually now a depth defenseman. Connor Timmins is supposed to be a depth defenseman. Yeah. The goaltenders, Legacy and Svitov are fine. Josh Brook is actually a 73. We finally figured out his overall, finally. And then all those guys are fine. Yep, so a rough year for the Habs. Very, very rough year for the Habs team. I don't know. It just shocks me. We still have a chance to make the playoffs, but I don't know. I think it's a kind of retooling kind of year for our team, where our younger players are definitely going to get better, but I did not expect this kind of year for our team. So you guys can let me know down below. Other than that, I will catch you guys next time. We'll go through the trade deadline, hopefully, and bring it to the end of the year number 5. Other than that, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.